The final cut is a masterpiece. But the first draft is a war zone. This is between the frames. Blade Runner is now revered as a landmark of science fiction cinema, a visually stunning, philosophically dense exploration of humanity, memory, and mortality. But the version that hit theaters in 1982 was almost unrecognizable. Under pressure from test audiences and studio executives, director Ridley Scott was forced to add a film noir voiceover that explained the plot, softened the ending, and stripped the film of its mystery. Harrison Ford later admitted he recorded it under duress, and critics dismissed the film as style over substance. It wasn't until the 1992 Director S cut, which removed the voiceover and restored Scott's ambiguous ending, that Blade Runner was reborn as a classic. This is the story of how a Studio S attempt to fix a film nearly destroyed it. Ridley Scott's original vision for Blade Runner was deliberately ambiguous and atmospheric. The script, adapted from Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, left key questions unanswered. Is Deckard a replicant? What happens to Rachel? The film's strength was in its visual storytelling and moral complexity. But early test screenings in Denver and Dallas left audiences confused. Studio executives at Warner Brothers, nervous about the film's high budget and unconventional narrative, demanded changes, a happier ending using leftover footage from The Shining, and a voiceover to guide viewers through the plot. The pivotal mechanism was the imposition of narrative handholding. Harrison Ford was contractually obligated to record the voiceover. He later said he deliberately gave a flat, uninterested performance in hopes the studio wouldn't use it. The narration spelled everything out for the audience, explaining character motivations with lines like, "Replicants weren't supposed to have feelings, neither were Blade Runners." It described actions as they happened on screen and concluded with an optimistic coda about Rachel having no termination date. The 1982 theatrical version included this voiceover and a tacked-on happy ending of Deckard and Rachel driving through lush wilderness, which was actually unused stock footage from Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Critics like Roger Ebert panned the voiceover as unnecessary and condescending. But then, something amazing happened. In 1992, for a limited re-release, Scott was finally able to create his director's cut. He removed the voiceover, deleted the stock footage ending, and inserted the now famous unicorn dream sequence, strongly implying that Deckard himself was a replicant. This version was hailed as a masterpiece. The film had been saved. The removal of the voiceover didn't just improve the film, it redefined its genre and cultural impact. Without the constant narration, Blade Runner became a film you experienced, not just watched. Its deep questions about identity and humanity lingered long after the credits rolled. This shift from an explained story to an experienced one turned ambiguity into an art form. The success of the director's cut also became a landmark case for artistic control in Hollywood. It paved the way for other directors to revisit their work, leading to now famous directors' cuts of films like Kingdom of Heaven and Watchmen. Harrison Ford's quiet rebellion also became legendary. His disdain for the voiceover and his deliberately flat performance highlighted the eternal tension between studio marketing and a director's artistic vision. The 1992 re-release sparked a critical revival, and the film is now routinely ranked among the greatest sci-fi films ever made. Interestingly, other studios saw Blade Runner's initial box office failure as proof that audiences needed straightforward narratives. They missed the real lesson. The film's lasting power came from its complexity, not in spite of it. So, what's the actionable legacy here? The core principle is trust your audience. Blade Runner's journey teaches us that sometimes the most powerful storytelling is the kind that doesn't explain itself. For creators, the lesson is this. What's the voiceover in your project? Where are you over-explaining because you fear your audience won't get it? Sometimes, the most resonant work is the one that leaves room for people to lean in and wonder. What other film do you think was transformed by removing narration or simplifying its plot? Share your pick in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Between the Frames.